Hello, this is Dr. Jose Arcaya speaking to you from my office in White Plains, New York, uh, which is just a secondary office to my Manhattan location. And I am now presenting a video which might be of interest to many of you, which is a contrast between psychological clients that come to see me and legal clients that are seeking my help. As you may or may not know, I am licensed both as in both fields. And what I found over time is interesting disparity or difference that I think can be informative. Let me start with psychological clients. They tend to come in depressed. Nobody comes to see me as a clinical psychologist who does therapy and does testing and does evaluations of different sorts um, on their own spontaneous way. They find their condition to be uh, disturbing, and they come in with saddened feelings, and they feel and they believe themselves to be pretty downtrodden at the time they see me. Um, and that's fine in a certain way because all of us living in this world, we have our periods of depression and there's things way we can see the world kind of negatively. But psychological individuals, psychological clients, they come in with a specific form of a problem, and that is they can't make up their minds. They're in a state of conflict. And what that means is they have somewhere in their minds two options, and they're both contradictory to each other. And they don't know how to make a decision, break through, and take their losses with the idea that they're going to go forward with some improvement in their lives as a result of feeling in control of themselves. And that's the basic problem that those showing up at my office are voicing. They feel that they're at sea. They feel that they're unfocused. They feel that they are not the captains of their own ship, if you want to put it that way. And the result is that they're waffling from one place to another and are not acting with much conviction. Moving to the legal side, I see the opposite. People that are quite sure of themselves that come in with an anger and a feeling of self-righteousness that a harm has been done to them, an injustice has been done, and that they want recompense. They want to get some sort of justice handed to them, given the unfairness of what they see their situation to have been. And they bring in forms of evidence to kind of buttress their arguments that they're deserving of some um, improvement in their situation and want me to be their agent, be their representative in court in some sort of way to bring about what they see as their clear right and their clear outcome. Um, Now, so we have these two opposed type of clients, the one that's unsure and the one that's not unsure. And what I found over the years is the best policy is to flip them over in a certain way. That is, make the psychology clients feel angry and make the legal clients feel depressed. And I put those in quotation marks. What do I mean? Well, for the psychology clients, to feel angry, not necessarily at other people, although it may be that, but that they have allowed themselves to be taken over by forces beyond their own thinking, as such that now they see themselves as less than human in some sort of way. And so to obtain an attitude of indignation, how did I let myself get into this position? Which takes a while for someone to begin believing that and to begin um, switching over from the passive side to the more active side, which is, I think, the basis for most clinical interventions. I have my own way of dealing with this and approaching the situation, which I think is successful, has been successful with many people. But by but it goes through a process of moving from the inside to the outside, doing something in the here and now that's going to bring about a change that is reasonable given the person's circumstances and that person's situation with the facts that he or she can apprehend, that can give uh, justification for moving forward. So it's a thinking process that then gets moved into the social world. Man, go do something about your situation as you see it and as you understand your life. It's just like a brief recapitulation of some more details that I don't want to overwhelm my audience with. But basically, that's the sense. On the legal side, it's a movement towards more realism and a narrowing down of the client's belief in what can be done. That is not to dissuade them from going forward, but the challenges that lie ahead in going forward with a summons and complaint and some sort of a petition to find justice on the side that they want. It may be that they were belief that they were fired or eliminated unfairly. It may be that they were cut off from certain funds that they should have received from either the government or some other entity that they want to reobtain. It may be a divorce situation where, again, money's involved and there's dispute about what is owed between the people. Okay, that's fine. But what needs to be brought out is what is relevant not to you, that is the legal client, but to a third party that is going to be listening to you and to have a understanding of what you're trying to say to them that is um, ruling out strong feelings, but rather that goes to what would be very apparent to other people as a strong reason for the position one is trying to take. So the law clients need to go back into their own from their own selves to the outside world and to see things as others would see them in a certain way. That perhaps they're overly confident, that perhaps they have omitted certain facts, maybe not deliberately, but it's turned out to be that way, so as to then bring the case into greater scrutiny, and so it's more finally pictured by both me and the client in some sort of relationship to go forward and so that we can triumph eventually. So this change is somewhat also like a psychological movement, but now on the part of the legal client, as is the psychological movement with the patient that comes to see me. There is somehow some thinking that has to be altered so that both can work in some sort of unity with me or with people like me, so that there's the wish for activity presents what the client is looking for in either one of those conditions. Um, so this has been a brief overview. I plan to write on it some more as time goes on. But I hope it's been enlightening to some degree, and would look forward to any comments that you may leave on this YouTube um, presentation. Okay, until next time.